many hours of time and help everyone.
I'm glad you take over because actually I know nothing about USA. I only make 1 or 2 trips to the USA. So I'm more familiar with so it's very nice that you take over. So I will be listening to you for a short while. After that, I will have to go to bed. I will be listening to you for a short while. After that, I will be going to bed. But it's the sleeping time for me.
Go to sleep.
Do anything what fit to you. No problem. Thank you.
So I think maybe I shouldn't take much of your time.
Okay.
Just to say hello and to pay respect to you.
Thank you, Dato.
Thank you.
Okay. Did everyone can hear my voice clearly?
Yes, you sound good.
Okay. So I think almost the time we can start our 4.5-hour class right away. And good morning, everyone.
Good morning.
Good morning, Master.
Right now, I'm going to start the formal teaching that so-called modern movements of Humanistic Buddhism in the state. I'm going to show the PowerPoint to you all. Okay. What the picture? My picture is not here. Okay.
We can see.
Okay. This is what I have in my brief writing. I'm going to start right away my presentation so that you can see part 1. This is what I'm going to start from. If you see the outline that American Buddhism included in the past sectarianism, and the second is current Brahmanicism, and then both sides means add in this one is tradition coming from Asia to form Buddhist study group or monastery in this country, and others so-called maybe in the school they have society activities that can help people to learn if this culture is fit to them, they are interested into some resources so that they have all the school in many famous university, they have Buddhist program in United States. And other culture center too that both share with other resources, and they form Buddhism in this country. I want to majorly talk a little bit in the world system before come into Buddhism, so that you know where Buddhism comes from. There are 4 major theories represent ancient civilization in this world. One is from China, that is called yin-yang harmonious unity principle. I put it this way. Yin-yang theories is talking about in a round circle, that is 2 fish. One is get the tail from the other. So it formed this round shape in these 2 different fish. to form this circle, so-called yin-yang theories. It talks about this harmonious and unity principle to form very strong culture in their country. So people is thinking that way. In a point that you can see, this is the principle. This is what the things going to be. So it's not in the horizontal or not in the vertical way to see things, but in a point to see things that way. And then they have another theories from Buddhism come into the Chinese culture. So in many years development, Buddha nature or the mind nature, it become another theories that led the Chinese people in that region, they know how to use these theories to solve the problem, to see the phenomenon, what they are, and how to penetrate to this phenomenon to overcome their so-called viewpoint or stubbornness of attachment. So this is two theories. One is called harmonious unity theories. Until right now, you can see in their own country, that culture is a very strong influence to the society, especially the thinker who want to make policy for the country, or religion who want to establish their own system to the country. They need to concern about the harmonious and unity theories that come from yin-yang civilizations. Okay, and secondly, it's talking about Indian Buddhism. That's what I very well know. That is my own faith standpoint. This theory is called interdependent co-arising, subject to emptiness. I think all of you will know what I'm saying. We already have a little bit common sense in the Buddhist teachings. The Buddha himself discovered the theories of interdependent co-arising to explain mental and physical phenomena. What is the bottom line of these phenomena is subject to emptiness, so that it will form what you see into material support. All these elements, no such thing can be said that is the very fine substantial. It's no non-substantial in the form. And then for all the factors of mental state, that is also bubble. All this is rising and ceasing of cessation. So that is the theories from Indian Buddhism come to the civilization. We call that theory is independent co-arising theories. And then the third one I want to say is the Western world, what we have based on the theories of monism, M-O-N-I-S-M, monism. Means talking about one things that is the basic. Or maybe we can go get it to say is the basic of God. Then this theories is come to dichotomy. Dichotomy means D-I-C-H-O-T-O-M-Y. Dichotomy means separate into two parts, good and bad, black and white, and so on. It's just in the horizontal way to see things, or it is in the line to see things. It's not in the circle to see things. It's very different from the Asian civilization, from India and from China. They are in the round point to see things. And Western civilization come, it just because of the monism and dichotomy, it come to antagonist, N-A-T-A-G-O-N-I-S-T, means thing is opposed to each other. Things maybe need to use antagonistic way to solve problem. It means things need to always come to competition because of this two sides. So I name it, this is the third way to see things. They have three ways to see things in Asia. One is from the Chinese yin yang. And the second thing is from the Buddha nature or mind nature. It's from Buddhism or Zen Buddhism come to China. And then Indian original Buddhism is interdependent co-arising theories to see things on this way. Western world have another way to see things, just I mentioned before. And this I can say it this way. Because of the Chinese way and India way to see things based on the human ruler, means what can we do as human, we responsible to ourselves and the social engagement or the social movement that we want to bring ourselves act to do something right, so that humanism is the way that Indian Buddhism and the Chinese culture see things. They are not based on other theories. And Western world seeing things is in the way, what I call theocracy, T-H-E-O-C-R-A-C-Y, means they're seeing things on the very higher power of God. And from these theories come down to our human side, how to help humans solving problem in the society or our own self. So this is three civilizations that I mentioned. And they form this very practical way into the society. What I said, it takes shape to form their region's mindset. This is what I want to say. Means all the thinker based on what we can remember from the childhood growing up is based on their cultures, region's culture. So this region culture is the basic foundation of the growing life, how they seeing things, how they use a basic to contemplate things, and how they make decisions by their own basic foundations of thinking. So this thinking mind pattern is what I call that mindset. All different cultures, they have different mindset. And this may say that it become underlying cause, what I say, underlying cause. So this cause can be removed and it can be stay all the way with the life. It's very important. So in Buddhism, we come to the West, we're not going to invent any things into changing, but we just come to sharing things together Anything want to make change or want to upgrading, it depends on the individual, not depend on the lecturer. Lecturer just bring the opinion to the audience and sharing this information. My point is, into these three civilizations, they form their own theories from India, China, and Western world. Exchange of views and ideas need to be ongoing. If we don't exchange word, information or idea together, then isolate will make difficult for your own self to fit into this, what I say, one world, because after the computerized, right now is information. If we lack of information, then we are just isolate ourselves. From this isolation, it's not going to get you very healthy to move on the life. So this is what I say. Exchange of views and ideas is very important in this open world right now, because of this internet, and everything will go as fast as much information come to our daily life. After the 5G come into existence, then things will go even faster. So this is the idea what I want to come to conclusion. Freedom of thought. No one way of thinking, but freedoms of thought. That is matched to the teachings of Buddhism, non-self, emptiness. It means just make yourself easy when you want to come to the lecture, and if you want to come to contact to the society, then you always need to mindful and freedoms of thought. Just empty your mind into listening, then you can come to contact to the reality. If you miss a little bit, let your mind have the brainstorm there, then the thing may not come to the reality. So thinking need to empty, not let yourself think a lot all the time. So the monkey mind won't become the mind stone and disturb the observation. That's why I myself always like to meditate, make the mind more concentrate before I contact to the world, contact to the senses information. Okay, this is the very brief outline I want to share with you all. And then right now we come to the part that today I want to share with you all. Okay, we come to this part. Current pragmatism means more practically to say Buddhism in the state we are here in this land. Buddhism, how we can serve this society better and be accepted easier. It depends on the leader and the followers, how they show themselves in the daily life and how they can communicate them with others easier and be happy with others. So there, in the ancient time, we have 3 ways to do this. What we call that. The first one is from practice. The second one is from education. And the third one is from social welfare. Recently, what I do a lot of study and research about Buddhism in this country, I found mostly right now our situation is how to use Buddhism into practice and very popular of mindfulness training in the society. And a lot of research saying that American style of Buddhism defined by 6 traits: strong lay involvement, a focus on meditation practice, democratic ideals, parity for women, social action, and openness to Western psychology. This is the religions scholar Peter N. Gregory's, his research. From one research, we know that it included what I said just now, from education, from practice, and a little bit about social welfare. So right here, I want to say a little bit about what I do and what I see in the past. I want to bring out 4 of the most important educations is ongoing in this country as a tradition Buddhism. Tradition Buddhism, I use it is because of they come from the East, immigrant into this country. So I say they are traditional Buddhism, not localized, not what we call that native peoples who bring this into organize and become leader, but mostly the leader is come from the East. I want to say 4 of them, what I know and do a little bit research. One is called the 10,000 Buddha Monastery in San Francisco. The second one is called Naropa University in the West too. And the third one is University of the West. That's the university who founded by Silai Temple or Fo Guangshan from Taiwan. And the fourth, Thich Nhat Hanh's Engaged Buddhism. The first one I want to say is from 10,000 Buddha City, San Francisco. That is the Master Xuan Hua, who the founder built their 10,000 Buddha City from 1976 to recent year. This monastery is completely in the Chinese tradition and use a Chinese Buddhist style of living, educate their own followers and open to public. So their system or their monastery have a lot of different activities that are what I call practice, education, and social welfare, put it together as a whole. This is called tradition Buddhist way. They already formed these ways of social movement, and the monastery themselves activity is included too, as what I call very experienced in the old way already. So to form this tradition and bring to United States, they want to form it that way. So once you go to this monastery, you will see that they're very Chinese style. They want you to learn the Chinese. They're doing all this practice Chinese way of Buddhism. And then they will included a lot of school system. What I want to say is education in the very important points of them. They have high school. They get the permission to have degrees, and then the same school is open to public as a middle school. And then they have their own Buddhist university come to MA degree, but mostly this school will teach by their own. Sometimes is the monastic, sometimes they will invite professors from other university come and teach some subject. Important, they have a translations institution, so they can bring a lot of Chinese Buddhist sutra and commentary translate into English. That is what their contribution and give for who interested in Buddhism in their way. Second one I want to say a little bit is about Naropa University. Naropa University founder is Thompa Rinpoche from 1974 to 1987. And then later on, after his life passed away, 1991 to 2017, the board director changing into native born Buddhist professor. Then this university is not tradition anymore. They were more engaging into electrophysiology, electron pyrography to monitor brain wave pattern. This is how in Buddhist study, basic in the Buddhist practice, and they can easily come to virtual art and psychology. And then from there, they move on into more scientist interested subject monitor the mind. So this is how the Buddhist university from the old system merge into modern science system and show Buddhism can do something differently from Asian tradition. The third one I want to say is University of the West. From 1996 to recent year, they still carry on their university service. When they established the school and got the permission as a university, they have commercial study and religious study and very professional from MA to PhD program going on. I have a student, Venerable Long Yun, she finished the PhD from this school and get the degree, then transfer to Stanford University Hospital for the further study and serve as the agent care department in the hospital until right now. So what I'm going to say is this school will bring a lot of potential, getting very traditional Buddhist study and use this skill of what they know, applying into medical system and applying into commercials. Last one I want to mention a little bit as what you know, if the education is not only in school, and what can we do? That is another way to seeing things in American Buddhism. Venerable Thich Hanh, he is very well known in these countries. Whole of his life engaged into social movement. So he have very famous way to showing him his contribution, his ways to help beneficial to the society that is called engagement Buddhism. So he bring mindfulness training into family life, into this social movement, to do a lot of stress release and have all the community very engaged and gathering together to form a harmonious community. So this is a very colorful, what we call that, very shining to this Buddhist way of social movement. Back to what I want to say. Pragmatic, pacifistic, non-violent, non-profit organization, egalitarian. All this is the basics. What if you keep on studying in Buddhism, you will find this is something that is the identity of Buddhist study. From here, we can see some things that Buddhism will more inclusive than exclusive. He is both sides, recluse and secular. It means it's not talking about renunciation, and after some of their teaching is go to seclude themselves, they also have a lot of movement come to the supporting the world, supporting our society, how to get better in harmonies and overcome problem. So how they are going to act, just like what I mentioned, equality in the non-profit organization, they try to start from there. Their teaching spirit is non-violent, and their involved is pacifistic, means not for their own benefit, but for the whole community. So even though it's basic on pragmatic, but they still processing it into the Buddhist way. What I want to show in this, what you see this way. And then, okay, we'll go a little bit further. Here is something when ethnicity and morality come to be in these countries, Buddhism, even though we are come from exterior world, immigrant into this society, so-called American society. But it's not going away about our society right now. We are facing into very difficult times. What this difficult time is called passive crisis. I want to say right now we have something very practical way to say is epidemic situation is here, still on process. Racial problem is here. We are find a way to deal with this problem. And diplomatic relations, we need to deal with after this, what we call that, choosing of our president. And economic recovery is another very important issue in this time. So I say this is the passive crisis in our society. The four of them, how to build better process of making Buddhist practice and contribution to help these four kind of very important problem in our country. I think a lot of things when we are in the school of learning, and after this school we get degree. I hope it will bring you all concern and think a little bit deep. We need to go into master degree. We will develop and grow how to bring more talents and professional trained skill in what we can help and serve this society. Even our Buddhist society too, we need to upgrade our education so that bring more manpower and help our society. So democratic and authorization, very important in what I say, just mentioned. So social engagement and modernization and adaptation, innovation. All this is the idea I want to bring out for you. And then hope this idea come to your mind, that you will think a little bit deep. And then once you get your own idea, is better than what I mentioned for you. And okay, I'm going to stop it here a short time, so that after that we will go to the surveys, that what I do, and sharing the survey for you later on. And we may stop for 10 minutes. Thank you.
Thank you. Sure. I think we're ready.
Okay. Right now we come to the second part. I want to share with you. This is the survey and studies of most influential Buddhist group in the United States. What I do my own studies, and there are more than 2,000 monasteries in these countries already built up. Many other groups in the society, included the school and other community culture center that have not been included. I just do a little bit about the monastery, how many have in this country. We found more than 2,000. And right now I just bring 4 of them, have a little bit collector, in order to show that what I learned with them. Investigate material included 2 ways. One is a scholar, one is learned man. Scholar is expert commentary, what they are very good and professional writing, and keep the evaluate what Buddhism like this and like that. So value for their expert is very important for us to learn. And learn man means a practice and study report. I will say myself is in this side. I'm not a scholar, but try to help. And from my own experience and my travel and the connection with me and what I want to say, what I know. So combined ability means little bits of research and more of the travel experience, what I want to share with you in this time. First point is immigrant sectarian Buddhism. Immigrant means the Buddhism tradition is come from Asia, and they are established in this country. So from there, they are processed into a collector, not too much similar with the Asian where it come from, but already developed into little bit new, applying to the reality. So here, the tradition Sangha led by monastics, I have 2 well-known and been visited them many times, be good friend with them too. So as that, I bring it out. One is Abhayagiri Monastery. The founders from Ajahn Sumito come to Ajahn Amano right now, Ajahn Amaro already back to England, and then Ajahn Pasano is one that who right now become the abbot, or he said this the chief monk in the monastery. So the second one is Sravasti Abbey. In the very early day, we found Maba 1995. So Venerable Chowdhury still stay with us and have a lot of dialogue together. And then after the short staying, she moved to the new way of how to start his own monastery to fulfill the dream. So this is something that I want to share with you in these two. I call them tradition sangha, means their goal is try to establish monastery in the tradition way of sangha. Abhayagiri is called forest monastery. If you want to learn the forest, means they have their tradition where from India come to Southeast Asia, Buddhism in the Theravada system. They like to stay with the wood and just stay in the wood. They will feel this is a quiet place for them to meditate and for the contemplative practice going on. And then a short time, they just come into the society, do some service, but mostly at least 2/3 of the time they will stay for their own practice and learning. So this is called forest monastery. So right now they are grow very well in Abhayagiri monastery in the San Francisco North. So the monastery, right? Until I do the research, they have right now about 20 monks together, and 3 samana, who means the waiting for become novice. They still wear the white clothes, and then they are very systematic train this monasticism tradition. So try to build up the staying or the living way of monastic life as the tradition, as what they can go to follow the original way from India. So I call them is a very conservative ways of monasticism in what I see as my viewpoint. So this, well, they have a lot of influence, not only for themselves in a monastery, but they open up more into the system that they establish more other branches from England come to United States. They have a little bit spread into the whole regions of the United States. And then mostly they train this monastic, and then monastic accept too. And they will go to secluded life, and they will help to go to helping other small monastic group, like the spread to female monastic. Then this so-called head monk will travel from time to time, try to help them education, help them learning and practice, so that they are busy. They are busy, but the focus point is renunciation. And Not only that, if you go to their website, you can see they're supporting lay groups for their mission, fulfill the lay groups' need and practice. This is what they carry on doing too. So recluse is included circular, means they try to build up the lay groups, and they have this so-called supporter and the who can help them and got the benefit by them. It's not go alone. It will for both sides, what we call that in the Dhamma as this Sangha going on very well by establishing the old system. The second, what I want to share with you is Swasti Abbey, found from 2003. Venerable children is one, female bhikkhuni order in the Tibetan form, Tibetan dress, but they take the Chinese ordination in the highest ordination. Until that, before, they have no bhikkhunis ordination in Tibetan Buddhism, only male monk, what we can find. So right now, female monasteries, this is the first one based in Tibetan dress. Venerable children is so very ambitious and active, not only in the United States, but in Asia, especially from Singapore, Malaysia, and Taiwan, like that in the Asian country, so that they can bring more support, contribution to the country and build up all this facility. In Buddhism right now, they're still short of the local supported by financing support. So mostly financing still rely and depend on the more Asian Buddhists helping. But manpower and learnings opportunity are all open to all walk of people, included Asian community and included the local community. All is welcome. So in their service, if you go to the website and see their very localized systematic training style, means monasticism is how to fit into this country, but they are still very strict into Vinaya. Vinaya means the discipline. Monastic is not much experience in this country, especially the Buddhist tradition one. So a lot of us in the country here is middle age, means not in the very young age like Asian country before 20 already into the monastery and a lot of experience and involved sharing when they grow up as a teenager. So there will know a lot of the tradition, especially the Southeast Asian Buddhism as Theravada. They have a lot of connection from generation to generation. But when Buddhism come to this country right now, I can see still not open too much opportunity for teenager, for young people. Mostly is adult, and sometimes it's 40, 50, then they come to Buddhism, especially the audience when they are aging. So this is not going to very healthy for them, because monastic systematically training, you need to be concerned about the Sangha. Sangha means teamwork, how this teamwork can be workable for this country. Not only individual. I know that in this country, we will talk about freedom of speech, freedom of this and that, a lot of freedom, make people that have a lot of individuals need, so that becomes very ego self, that self-centered need to be little bit open up into community, and fit yourself into community is challenging in the country. So as the IB, they have a lot of training program, especially for the Patimokkha, means the discipline and simplicity of life, simplicity of living for the newcomers of want to become ordained and take ordination as samana, come to bhikkhuni, means a higher ordination. All this systematically training. Right now they do a lot of this kind of activity. This is a very good planning. I will very happily to see this website and do my survey. I'm surprising. This is a good example. Even though it's in different kind of Buddhism, so that they wear a dependent stress, it doesn't matter for me. I'm very open-minded, because not only I love Buddhism, because I love spiritual life. Spiritual life can make a little bit changing into our American society if Buddhism is fit to them in the long run. So Abai Gary and Swasti Abbey, these two traditions have a lot of things that more than what I can say. Please go into the website and other information that you can do research by yourself. And the third one I want to say is conservative Sangha led by teachers following the old path, spiritual rock. Spirit rock is served and run by staff and dedicated teacher. It means in Spirit Rock, this community, they are charging and welcome donation too as a non-profit organization. So that from here, we can see when Buddhism come to this country, we have another kind of way to help people learn and make Buddhism not different to the our tradition or to these societies. So secular Buddhism is very new things that are different from Asia, what I know, as in Asian country, not in the East Asian. East Asian is Japan. They have a little bit culture differently. But I want to say is secular Buddhism is a very important Buddhist movement in this country. They're different from the old lay teacher, but they try to make it work as secular Buddhism come to take place, how to influence the society. So you can see like this. What I want to say is inside our metta hour, and then there's Buddhism every day. You see all this word is mentioned to you, how to very practical put the Buddhist training into daily life, into very important hour. So to build up our spiritual in a very busy mundane life. So mundane life need to have their own schedule. This is the point. So monastic, we have the very fixed schedule into the daily life, but not mundane side. Lay Buddhists need to build up their schedule in daily life. So this new way of secular Buddhism bring me a lot of make sense. So Daily Dhamma is a tricycle magazine who give an idea. Dhamma is not only in the libraries, store book. It need to bring to living. So living life Dhamma come to daily Dhamma. So this all is good idea for a lay Buddhist in the coming day. It may turn into what we call that can make living professional skill. I will hope one day we can use the education to make enough income to support our daily life, as what we can help Buddhism grow by become a Buddhist teacher. How we can make it practically establish this organization and to bring all this income enough to supply by many different ways. This is the coming, maybe Marba need to talk a little bit about and sharing all this idea. I have a lot of information to the research from the Taiwan Buddhism too, and later on may share with you all. And then talk a little bit back to the Spirit Rock. They have one idea is very good called online Sangha. When you say online Sangha means online you do all the service, I think the pandemic will bring us right over here. We can see each other. I try myself to speak with the screen here as what I feel comfortable, because if no audience in front of me, I don't know how to say things. But right now become online, everything will going, at least many years going on will be happen this way until the pandemic gone. So daily retreat, multi-day retreat, training programs systematically for an individual or for family. This is what Spirit Rock all do their service. More than 20 teachers in the community and other branches like Master Jesus, Inside Meditation Center, they cooperate together, have a lot of good service. More than 200,000 participants every year come to their small center. The center or the monastery they have Inside Meditation Center in San Francisco area. The center has been there. It's a little bit like Marba. There are not many buildings, but enough to fit in from time to time, 50 people to 100 people. So that is how they develop, try to make it as a spiritual journey for people want to have a short temporary stop and gathering there, and some who want to learn something. So in this so-called training center, there are what I name conservative Sangha, but led by teachers. I do a lot of listening to the teaching by Joseph Goldstein and Jack Confield. That this is a elders teacher in their community. They are trained in Buddhism from the Thai tradition, come to Theravada tradition. They have faith on this tradition, teaching more than 35 years to 45 years as a Dhamma teacher. Very profound. They already stone in their mind that Buddhism can help their life become a faith and spiritual practice and the way of their living. So this is a very good example. If someone learning this our program can think about, you see, when this great teacher, they already have 45 years of teaching the Dhamma. So how this will ongoing to solve their own problem of living, and they will keep interested into contact with the Dhamma and helping the society build up this spiritual journey to help to release all the stress and need for the daily life by the Dhamma. So this is why I want to bring it up for you, because they are the non-profit organization. This is very important. Means they want to build up a company, do their own business, or they do their own what we call their job. You do for your individual or for something else. So Buddhism is start from non-profit organization. This is very important because you can get both sides. One is for the donation. You can accept donation. The second one, even though you have more than that, the others thing can going on, like some small business income, you can bring it back to the organization and support the small amount of paying or the hour paying for the staff. So in spiritual, they have staff, they have teacher, need to pay check for their living. And even though they have a dedicated teacher who work for volunteer, this is what is about. And Chester Abbey, Spines of Development. Shasta Abbey is the monastery that tradition from Zen Buddhism of Japanese Linji Zen and Soto Zen. From the founder who trained is the first lady bhikkhuni or lady monks trained in Asia, from Malaysia, ordination, and take their Soto Zen practice from Japan, come back to United States and unite with the spirit of Christianity. So Christianity, Catholic trainings and Buddhist training come together to form this abbey. This is what I call spines of development. When I visit them, I stay with them about a month in the monastery. The monastery is run lot of experience about the Zen practice, traditional living, but add in a lot of source of Catholic spiritual. So you can find that they have both sides of things that not similar with Japanese Buddhism, but they stay a little bit connected to the West, what we call the ordination or the monk system, monastic training. So they form this Chester Abbey in closing into the Oregon, in the Chester Mountain. So this monastery, they have more than 35 monastic monks together in the community, and they build up the lay congregations supporting all the training. Until right now, I still found that this monastery or the abbey still running by dependent on contribution. They're still not going other way more than what they can get support from the community and from the charity. And all these monks is very serious in the practice. When you go there, you see their life is very disciplined. I will say that if anyone want to see more information, please go to the website and check. One more thing to say is the last one, Inside Meditation Center. The founder is Goenka teacher. And I said, subvert tradition means little bit like this, means this center, I have my experience with them, so even in Chicago and in St. Louis here. This is the idea I want to say. In the tradition, we have the Buddha, the Dhamma, and the Sangha together to form, this is the Buddhist refuge. We take refuge to the Buddha, to the Dhamma, and to the Sangha. But inside meditation practice or vipassana trainings from Goenka system, when you go to the practice hall, they don't allow you to put the Buddha's image there. They are only the teaching of the teacher. And you can train 10 days retreat. This is most popular for their service and training to help individual overcome stress and even to take a break in the vacation. But they don't allow you have any connected with the image. You just go to the hall there like that, so that when they want to, borrow our meditation hall in Maba to train their 10 days retreat, so they ask permission from me. They want to take a clothes to cover up the Buddha's statue in the hall there, so that they can come to train 10 days. I feel a little bit not too comfortable. It's not because of me. It's because of this kind of idea is against all the tradition, Buddhist way of setting and using the hall, because this hall will represent the Buddha. You put an image in front of you so that you can contact to this image to remembering back the Buddha is a spiritual leader. And then the second one is the Sangha member, means the monastic member as the recent teacher who can sharing you what he know about the Buddha's teaching. So the Dhamma is the teaching. So the tradition Buddhist hall, Buddha hall is named the Buddha hall, means he need to use the original Buddha as the image. So if you take the original teaching, who know which teacher say who and who, accordingly you need to get the evidence to show it. Why you take out the Buddha and then only the teachers? So I don't feel too comfortable in the monastery that's where you want to train people knowing Buddhism, only knowing the Dhamma. Don't allow the founder to present in that Pacific time. I don't feel comfortable. So I say, if you want to cover, use the clothes to cover the Buddha's image, then you can practice in the retreat. I don't feel this is my way to allow. Equal, little bit unique, not because of good or bad. It's a little bit unique. I don't want to go too much reform in order that to bring this idea into very against to the tradition. So tradition have more population. If we lost the population support and separate from them, it's not in the harmony. So I'm thinking about Buddhism from Asian. We have a culture, just like very early starting in this talk, I mentioned harmony, harmony in unity. So that is something that I feel a little bit different. So I use the word subvert tradition. I'm not use extremely say that any other bad thing to them, but I say this tradition in the old tradition, a little bit new in this country. So it's good to bring people come to the Dhamma. If they are not too comfortable with the tradition Buddhism, it still have a way to show. But how they can themselves as the teacher of the Vipassana Training Center can more open up themselves, included the tradition, so that you can move forward, but you still have more bigger standpoint. Why not? Why you want to narrow yourself? That is what I said a little bit. So this fine point is in seek the truth from faith. I want to say this word is because this is a reality. I do the study report from learned man, means not a scholar, using a lot of contemplative thinking, but a lot of what I see, what I receive, and in my own experience, I bring some idea from what I see and experience into this teaching. So I hope you like it. Okay, we go to another one. Spiritual impact on American society. Zen practice, Vajrayana contemplative, Vipassana insight meditation, mindfulness training. This is something that we found very important teaching and center or Buddhist developed in this country. Largest than what we can know, can use one or two individual temple or monastery to express this four important Buddhist spiritual practice. Zen Buddhism included the Chinese Zen Buddhism and the Korean Zen Buddhism and Japanese Zen Buddhism, so that they are not in one particular country's Buddhism come to the state, but they show that all they come from the same tradition, the tradition from Chinese original Chan practice. So all the resources and training experience, they transfer to Japan, from Japan come to United States, they transfer to Korea, from Korea come to United States. So the practice in United States, they spread into all different locations, but still they use the word Zen Buddhism, included the Chinese Zen practice too. Second one is Vajrayana contemplation. This is from tradition Tibetan Buddhism. They have very different ways of practice according to the tradition Theravada Buddhism or Zen Buddhism. For they use a lot of mantra, and they do a lot of bowing, they do a lot of chanting and contemplating, so that they have their cultural performance put into the training of Tibetan Buddhism. Very strong influence to the society and bring a lot of Westerner into the training. That's why I want to say one in when I was in New York, Zhangyan Monastery. So beside the monastery, about an hour, there are the one of the Vajrayana temple there. So that the Lama right now already passed away. Before they pass away, before he is living in the monastery, so a lot of retreat going on. So the retreat is like this. I give you an idea how to train people into spiritual life. They will ask you for around $8,000. So you get your saving and pay $8,000. So they give you a room. You can come into the room, and they give you 2 meals a day for 3 years, 3 months, and 3 days training. So you recluse there and isolate yourself of the training. So they will give you all the schedule of training, included learning Tibetan Sanskrit word. And sometime after 3 years, 3 months and 3 days secluded retreat, they already have the skill of translate all this Sanskrit sutra into American language, into English. So that is what I see that happen in this. I think in my life that I already been there for two times of retreat. After 3 years, 3 months and 3 days, then they open, and then they finish and congratulation for the individual who come to retreat. So when that ceremony, I come participate there, I see, oh, just changing the life. And they build up a lot of good teacher, very good skill of writer, training and translation training after the retreat. The most many people join into the retreat, more than 40 of them in one time joining the retreat. So the elder monk or the chief leader, he no go anywhere. He just stay in the temple for the whole retreat going on to help solve the problem of the trainer. When this individual trainer have problems of practice and have the problems of reading the sutra, he just bring the help. I would see so spiritual and what we call that power, this leader monk. He just very focused and helping for the talents people come into Buddhism and become the teacher in the long run to the future. So this is what I want to mention a little bit about him. Vipassana insight meditation. They have two ways to go. One I want to say is spiritual rock, spirit rock. Another one is the Goenka system that you already know. Just now I mentioned two of them. And here I don't want to say too much. I just want to say very fast spreads of the Goenka system when I was in 1998. That is the time that when I was in the service helping build up another center in Boston. From that time, Goenka teacher already well known in this country, try to build up more and more center into different cities, so that this kind of training inside meditation can be very good spread to the country and benefit to others. So they will look for someone who is more qualified to help and volunteer to this community. So they have a lot of lay teacher. Just one thing that I want to mention is the lay teacher is come from their own study, and unfortunately, Goenka teacher is not to get into the systematically support the teacher training program. So not much what I can see in the resources like Spirit Rock. They have very programming trainings program, systematically from level to level training, they open up to the student. This is compared to inside meditation center. They need to build up that in the very strong supporting into the Dhamma study with more resources covered in the sutra. This is what I want to bring out. Mindfulness training is another one that very strong influence to the society. Not only Buddhists talk about mindfulness training, and a lot of other purpose and other teacher can bring mindfulness training into the society. I have not much talking about other than the psychology, psychotherapy, and then other tradition training. Just here, future is bright with boundless prospects. The Buddha himself, what I like is mindfulness. And how to change this mindfulness into awareness is in my mind there. How to experience not mindful but aware all the time. Mindful should be something that not aware is because of it will shortcut from time to time. So the Buddha himself, he found something that not shortcut or not short circuit anymore. It's always aware there with present moment. The remembering is really stabilized in this watching mind. We are not like that. That's what I know my mind until right now. It always, sometimes from time to time, it will contact to other and get lost. The mind is, the memory is very aggressive and desirable into contact. So other contact always is disturbances of my awareness, so that I need more training in order to bring full aware all the time, not leak at all. This is called the trainings of mindfulness. So in this discovery, the Buddha already discovered, and then we will take this mindfulness as what we call that as a product. So how to change this product into like a merchant, bring this product into market, so that, and then you can have more open up to fulfill this market need, and turn this mindfulness into fashion, means very well known product that people will like it. It depends on how we're going to planning and how much energy we need to spend on it, how many manpower we can bring it into this service. So mindfulness training need to have more profound meaning and more deeper understand and experience of the individual, in order he can really represent mindfulness and bring mindfulness into living and help others. So mindfulness is a skill, not a perception only, but a skill for me. It needs more engineer, engineer spirit means training skill. Not only you go to the book and remember something, but bring that remembering come to skillful men, fulfill this bodily awaken. So whole body will represent this mindful. From this, then you can come to enterprise, means come to how to make it as a big investment and build up from a fashion. This is what I want to say to the spirit impact to American society. I may say that right now is the time that we can take 15 minutes before we come back. We take a break.
All right. Thank you.
Sounds good.
Yeah, I think we're ready to go.
Okay. Then we will going. We are going to carry on. Okay, influential characteristics of Buddhism in the state. Languages and refuges in the US. In all the Dhamma and the leaders are the two prosperous causes influence to America life. So that we know in the early teaching, when the Buddha, he is the founder, most important what he wants to help us to know or help us to grasp is the Dhamma. He himself is the founder and he is a monastic monk. So two things you need to know in the original, the time or the life of the Buddha is the Sangha and the Dhamma. So I say in that time is take refuge in the Dhamma and take refuge in the Sangha. Sangha included himself, the old monk, the Sakyamuni Buddha. So in the very tradition, we have two things that as the cause come to the what we call the come to the truth and training for your own enlightenment, experience the truth. One is Dhamma. The second is the leader. The leader is the Sangha, the Sangha member. The Buddha himself is one of the Sangha's leader. Sometimes people learn the Dhamma with him and he don't know in front of him is the founder. It happened in that time and record in the sutra what we go to read it, then we know. And many language already come to United States and open up all this community service to their followers and the students who interested in Buddhism. So I name it right here. We have 5 traditions. Theravada's perspective of the Triple Gem, Japanese views on the Buddha Dhamma, Mahayana perspective of the Triple Gem and Bodhisattva, Tibetan's perspective on the 4 gems, the Triple Gem and the Guru, and new, what I call the new religions is the Dhamma without the Buddha and without the monastic too. Means that may not, the last one may not have any Sangha member as a lay practitioner or the monastic practitioner join in become teacher, but they don't take any refuge in the tradition, but they form their own organization and they form their community and take into practice, take the Dhamma into practice and help others. This I call new religions or new spiritual teaching. So right now here, a little bit explanation like the Theravada, the Triple Gem is the Buddha, the Dhamma, and the Sangha as equally important in the refuges. Japanese Buddhist view means this has become their family business. As what you know that Japanese teacher, they are not the ordained monk, but they ordain into the community. They take this as their family business, help other, help themselves practice, but generation to generation, they just not ordained into monastic anymore. Their tradition already cut, die in the tradition, and they are not reforming back from other tradition to help, but they just keep this tradition as their culture, bring this as a business of life, and help other as the community service. So they call themselves the teacher. They take their field into teacher, but their generation to generation is father pass their duty into the son, and the son carry on this duty. There are problems here too. Some Japanese Zen hall that if their son is a local born and local grows, sometimes they're not going to take over their father's business. So then the temple need to run by another teacher. If you can find another teacher, they just become a little bit bad, and then this business will shut down. So I see some research is saying this problem too. And Mahayana perspective means triple gem and then Bodhisattva. Bodhisattva means the enlightened being who really see the Dhamma by a little dust in their eyes. So they want to commit, and they want to try to pick up the vow, the life putting into contribution. So my whole life, and I want to come and facing into difficulty, challenge for the Dhamma, into prosperity of the Dhamma. I will say, if the life carry on, no problem, it just carry on. If the life still show into the world, no matter what kind of world, I still become a Bodhisattva. Means I become a volunteer, come to volunteer service whole of my life, not have too much about privacy. This is called Bodhisattva, what I really understand by myself as a Bodhisattva. Bodhisattva can become a man from the man on, included woman. From this really human life, what can I do for Buddhism? Yeah. Tibetan Buddhism from their tradition, the Triple Gem included very important is a leader, a very mastering leader for their own community. This is called Guru. Guru have a lot of training and have a lot of different practice to become a spiritual leader in the community. So that leader put into very important position. Sometimes this important position is higher than the Buddha. So the Buddha image may be the second important, but the Guru become more important than the Triple Gem. This is their tradition. If I have a little bit misunderstanding, maybe it's extreme my own understanding of Tibetan Buddhism. But when I do my own research and I see by my eye, sometimes it have side effect. If the Guru is so important and so powerful, if the Guru is corruption, then the whole community will bring it into the extreme danger. So I don't see this is a tradition that very similar or can be matched to the Triple Gem from the very origin. Very origin, the Dhamma is important. The Buddha as a leader become a spiritual leader all the time. good example for the generation and generation who join into the Sangha want to become the leader. So the leader himself should be humble, not bring his position powerful than the Buddha. This is the tradition called Triple Gem. So Triple Gem included another gem called Guru. This is a joining back into the before the Buddha reform. This is really in the tradition of Indian culture. Guru, very important. That is what I want to say. The Dhamma without the Buddha is a very new processing in the society. A new way to show the Dhamma is available. The Dhamma is beneficial. So they try to bring themselves out to show the leadership, guiding this teaching, helping society. That is what I want to say in these 5 things, influential characteristics in the United States right now. Who is the best? Market will give you answer, not me. In long runs of process, Buddhism can survive in this country. I will say, try everything what we can in wholesome. If that is good for people, not bring too much conflict, bring a lot of prosperity to the Buddhist society, to benefit to non-Buddhist society alike. If you can bring this to their overcome stress and bring the happiness to daily life, I will say this is what I happy to see. I have no standpoint at all. I just bring this, in the last line, what I want to say, respect the causes and conditions of transmission, the path in different cultures and customs. We are equal. Especially me, I'm an immigrant into this country. So things need to be learned and need to be overcome. I hope one day I can have more to contribute. I can say more things politely in my word. Important, open, self-reflection, humanism, humanitarianism, not seals up, not expectation from external. This is the spirit of Buddhism, of the Dhamma. I bring it into modern world. It is my way of seeing things in this way. This is my important point when I come to United States. I always tell myself, these 4 things need to be applied. If I can apply these 4 things as a value, how can I help people to get it? So openness, self-reflection from time to time. Humanism, Buddhism is no a God from the spiritual point, but as human, we enlighten and awakening. So humanism, humanitarianism means a lot of things need to handle by our hand to bring help and change in this society and other suffering living beings. It's on our hand as a human. So humanitarianism is a word that human, a lot of things we need to use our wisdom and compassion to solve problem of the society. That is what we need to have in so-called we have faith or we see the Dhamma. We need to bring our influence to the society in the positive side, not seal off ourselves. We need to more expectation of open ourselves, but not expectation to get anything from external. This is what I bring the conclusion in this. The purpose of Buddhist practice, I will go a little bit. And then I will share this part first. As what I bring, the training program, what I see in the spiritual rock training program, Spirit Rocks training programs, I see this interested, very systematic and devised in different level, what the training program is. So I quoted it here. So as you, all the students who learn the Dhamma, in the future you may become the teacher. So please see the experience of more than 45 years teachers training. So a lot of good idea. The community teacher come together. All the teachers will experiencing how to involve into Buddhist teaching, help others. So they're learning right now. They have all this system. Go to the website and check all this program. So every part of them from A to H is from the very basic, very foundation, come to very advanced, very long-term process and profound meaning of teaching. So from the Dhamma and yoga training program, like what I said, is for healthy, just very systematically from healthy, not for very profound spirit in Buddhism, but for healthy purpose who can come, who facing to aging, illness and dying, you need healthy. So this is a training start. And then later on from that, you join into this non-profit leadership. What is the training? 5 months, you need to bring it, you know how to give good service to the community, how to become a guide, this observation, so that you are maturing your guidance when you serve the community. You don't bring conflict, you don't bring a lot of this, what we call that a problem, but you bring help. So the second training. And then later on, the C, 1 year living experience means, you need to do a lot of profound learning about how to facing to living and die, life and death. This is the very deep, profound observation. So they can go for 1 year. And then later on, you come to the Dhamma and so until the last part, retreat teacher training. This is the most profound spirit. So you see, not only the Dhamma teaching, you can become a teacher, but a retreat teachers help the trainer. It means you need to go enough for your own retreat in order you experience how to be steady your mindset from this very body. And from this very individual body, you can show the calmness and steadiness, healthy in this physical side. So all the mental and physical training need to experience, need to have right experience. according to the Dhamma. So it needs years and years training before you get into this spiritual path. From that part, I want to bring a little bit sharing come to MABA, Teachers Training Program. This is what you see. I make 5 guidelines that if the future MABA teacher program have little bit successful established, then we need to go to this 5 points in order we planning to the teachers' capability. Meditation, Tai Chi, Qigong, and yoga. This is very Eastern tradition. They're all included into meditation mindfulness training. So without mindfulness training into very subtle part like Qigong and yoga. Qigong means training your Qi, means training the breathing. And yoga means training a larger energy, body and mind. Tai Chi is training mindfulness movement in very subtle awareness. All this is very unique spiritual practice skill. So that is the second. Why I want to write it that way? Because I'm good in Tai Chi and knowing about the Qigongs from my experience. And right now I'm processing more into yoga. Why yoga? Because we need to systematic something in order that once you go to trainer, you can systematically help them to get into part by part processing training. Buddhist teaching and doctrine, this is how to use the resources as what we can find. We are not only extremely like and dislike this and that. We come to more general purpose of learning. Just use the resources. Let the resources show the fact. We don't want to cover up this and that with our own opinion, but we want to open up to use the resources properly. So resources will show us as a scholar skill, use the evidence to say something, show the evidence to prove something. Counseling and mental care. This is another part that is very important, can make teacher come into professional training. So that is what I want to think a little bit, and right now is processing or planning when our teacher program who come to the future, carry on study, further study will be the master degree. Some of the master degree, when after the associate degree, who going further study, then they will have more training of the counseling and mental care. It means professional training. Not only after the school, you can help Buddhist community service, but you can open up yourself, come to hospital, come to more in the society as the office job. This will bring a lot of potential to open up Buddhism as a professional training, can be survive in the society, can be get the paycheck easy as a job. So if the teacher in the future, what we train only can do volunteer service, is not going to survive. It need to join into the job site that get paycheck. So paycheck is very important. If no paycheck, not easy to survive in this country unless they get the traditional Buddhist contribution. If not get much the tradition Buddhist contribution, not easy to survive. So we need to find the second way out for the future. Non-profit organizational services and contribution. This is another part that if someone really see individual, they can give more offer and help serve the community and contribute to the welfare for the beings. Then these non-profit organizations, we need to really learn and do some research about that. Have a very positive and very good experience and full understand about this. I come to this country because of in Malaysia we don't have non-profit organization. We just organize our community as a sangha, then we run the business. We get all the traditional support in the town. But when we come to this country, if you run it that way, you need to pay tax. If you don't want to pay tax, you need to apply for non-profit organization in order this organization become the foundation. All the charity fund come to you, then you don't have to pay tax. So a lot of things we need to learn in order you can find a way that as a teacher in the future, if you want to do your own service individually, go alone. So really this very important message you need to discover for yourself. If you want to have big money come to support you without non-profit organization, it's not going to earn it. If people after their will, after their life pass away, they will write them to in the will that have any amounts of helping contribution to any charity fund. They want to make sure that you are in the non-profit. So this is one part that really want to share a lot of information and give a professional teaching in the class for the teacher training program. So I'll bring it into the last part as a spiritual friendship and spiritual community to the services in the future Buddhist community. This is a very important part. And in Asian, I want to bring it this way. In Asian, when we come to this United States, a lot of Asian Buddhists, even though they are already applying for non-profit organization, but they really don't know what is going on. They're still thinking about non-profit organizations, property and income is controlled by themselves as authority. They think that is their own advantage. This is not right. So that is an idea I bring out for everyone to know and learn. And okay, in this morning, this is what I want to share with you all. And the part 2 will go to afternoon of my talk and open up for question and any other comments after my talk here. And I will stop my talk and Any feedback and comments, please. I already tried my best to express what American Buddhism in my mind is. I don't want to go too much about the temple to temples resources. Just want to bring more idea about seeing the future American Buddhism possible, seeing something that you training as a teacher, what you have more potential to give and to serve this community. Okay, I open up to question and answer and comments.
I think I had a sort of question and comment observation. From our studies that Dato was teaching us, there are a lot of other humanistic Buddhism movements that are looking at political involvement and political activism. And I was wondering kind of how you feel about expressing political views and political office, even of any kind, even the lowest office. If I don't think that really is a thing too much in American society, but I also see that Thich Nhat Hanh's movement seems to express some political involvement too. It's not a real across the board thing, it doesn't seem like in the United States.
Datuk he is staying in Malaysia, so that is a very special country that Muslim is the major culture in Malaysia. So that as the Chinese people, Indian people and other races have not much space and not much opportunity to open up themselves. So they need to have more movement to bring their unity together in order they can protect their living space and opportunity. So in Malaysian youth Buddhism is the only unique, very strong movement to bring together all these Chinese or Buddhist youth to form a very strong organization to what we call that, to waking up their young people, You need to come together, otherwise you will see that if other society is very strong in bring or stole your opportunity, what can you do if you don't come to movement? So that is why I want to bring that teacher what I know to open up yourself as you don't see the world's other information and other experience, So right now too, if we Buddhism in the United States here, right now a lot of movement that we just find a way more easy and harmony. We need to help, Why we want to learn something is because of we preparing the skill and can bring help, I myself too, sometimes I say this and that is bring the idea, you need to open eyes, see things from other angle, If not, then we may sometimes ignore ourselves, And then you see in ourselves right now, I already mentioned we have many problems, big problem and not been found before. It just come out right now after the pandemic is the racial divide of the nation, So this is something that I feel very concerned. In Buddhism, we talk about what can we do? We need to not stand side. We need to stand in the middle. What is the middle? Wholesome, What we can do is harmonize no matter what is, think about the strong of the country. We need to bring the resources, come to a very good position to make this society more united and strong together, you know. This is what I think that in political, we need to involve is not in the policy, but in the skillful men. Make sense to you? Yeah.
That does. Thank you.
Yeah, yeah. I didn't have any political viewpoint. I see I'm a religious leadership, not in the political side. Political side need to involve into their duty, but spiritual side as a religion, we need to do our duty, try to make more harmony, more peace, you know, more what we call that compassionate personality, that kind of thing, you know, we need to build up in the religious leader. So if I say sometimes say political viewpoint, it's not in their side, but I just say that, oh, I'm concerned that maybe I see something is on the way. If we're not alert, maybe cause in the problem. Yeah.
So to go along with what Jeff was saying, how do you, politics, especially in the US, is very opinion based. How do you separate that? I mean, I know you, like going with attachment to your views would be beneficial, but if I were to announce to the group that I voted for Trump, I would say that there is a percentage of this room that would judge me for that. I mean, I'm not saying I did, I'm just using that as an example. But if it's really tough to say, you know, I'm a Buddhist and these are my political beliefs. I'm trying to figure out where the line is on that. I don't know if you can expound on that or not. You know, it's tough. And I feel like there's not a Buddhist inclusion on politics in the US because Buddhism in the US isn't very prominent at the moment, you know, for the population. But, you know, to go back to what I said, how do you know where that line is? Because with politics being so opinion based, that, you know, is there a way to do that tactfully? I really can't see it the way things are going.
I will see it this way, and in my value, I will make just like this. A life from the very early day, grow up in teenager, come to adult, come to more experience and more elder in the leadership. When they grow up, they have a pattern. We call that behavior. This is what Buddhism is based on. We want to, based on the very traditional conservative point of religion, you need to build up the good character to show that this is the ongoing process. This character will be very, very wholesome, you know. And in the strict, you know, you don't violate the discipline of yourself, like what the Buddha said that everyone need to take the precept like that, you know. So if someone that not care about that, they just care about their desire or burning, I don't think this leader will run the to run his service very good. He want to make this what we call that decision all the time. One decision and the other decision. He will need to make the decision and make the policy. So should be based on very, very what we call that very positive way to see things, as what in Buddhism talk about, you know, in the co-arising, in the dependent co-arising, thing is come to, you know, interdependent to each other, links very well. You don't try to break things like that. It's not going to work, you know. So I think the world leader, as what we are the strong country, why we decline a little bit right away, because of we see things not in the harmonious way to make it balance and form together. But we make things separate it extremely, then with it very danger. I hope the political side then can bring more into sometimes thinking something that problem. You need to think about the world, not only think about the country, you know. Yeah, sometimes you see Buddhism, we're not thinking about the world, we're thinking about all living beings, you know. Why we thinking about all living beings? Is that a chicken is very important? No, sometimes it's not important. If you think it's not important, then it will become big problem. You see, right now you can see the disease. You know, the disease is untraditional. You know, nobody knows what is going on until we learn. You see, so sometimes we need to, from the big screen, to open up. That Buddhism, I say, is very practical. He have very profound seeing things way, so that I would say that from the cultural points of view, everyone, us, as we still trust the Dhamma, we need to bring back ourselves. From the Dhamma, we see the leader. You see, so we try to educate ourselves and sharing to the society. Hope one day the new generation come, you know, have more and more good qualities leader come into place, so that they will do more better job from this learning very painful experience. We already know that sometimes the leader just make a lot of decline. If we choosing a good leader, the leader will bring, you know, more prosperity, no matter which side. It doesn't matter. It just doesn't matter. It just matter a good man and a good government, I want to say. Does it make sense to you?
Yeah. Yeah, I appreciate it. We definitely do get narrow-sighted. I mean, even if we think like beyond ourselves, we don't always think about the world. We may just think of like our community or our town, or we don't expound out to all living beings very often. We always get kind of closed-minded and just still always think of a smaller picture. Yeah, but yeah, thinking of the world of all living beings is a great way to put it.
Yeah, I just want to more involved into the social education, you know. I'm not involved into the leadership, who is right, who is wrong. I'm not involved too much into that opinion. I just have a very strong desire how to share, you know, share this spiritual understanding about the quality of life. Try to spread out into the society. Let the society itself form this energy, you know, so form their maturing understanding, not to what I say is, you know, seal of themselves, you know, and not knowing what's going on in the modern life and into the international level. They will be very difficult themselves. We know that, you know, like what is the condition support the life, technology, you know, economy, and then they have politics, and then they have you know, other things that can support very strong, important into the country, you know. So if people just hide in a corner, they really don't know what is going on outside, then it may be a problem to ourselves. If I want to say one thing very truthful to you is, you know, right now, the world already changing, you know. ASEP already formed in the Asian country, you see. That is a new thing come out, you know. And in the old day, I always said that China, maybe someone is little bit, difficulty of listening like that. But if you see their city, they are, we call that the third space of city, not in the first line, it's in the third line city. They are, hardware means they are social hub where all this building, facility, everything already more new than the New York and our country. I think, Kyle, you've been in China, you know what I'm saying.
Yes, yeah. I was just about to say, like, it's amazing. Even the smaller cities like Haining, with I think like 6 million people, just how fast the infrastructure goes up and how quick they are. Like when we were staying in Haining, it was just so amazing because you'd see a road go under construction. They would start that day and they would be done within that week. You'd come back and everything would be gone. All the construction equipment would be gone. The road would be completely finished. Buildings went up like so fast, and they're using good technology for it. There's even large green initiatives in China. So it's sad to see that in a lot of ways, America has gone backwards in terms of like getting out of the Paris Accords and not being aware of global warming and not wanting to be more green. And I know our roads in the US, they say, are starting to become like a third world country. So like our infrastructure is falling greatly behind. And so, yeah, it's amazing that the rest of the world is really moving ahead rapidly. And the US is sort of stuck fighting between two parties right now politically where nothing can get done.
That's something that I love the country, I love this land because a lot of space can move around. I just want to wake up all this man, is everyone individual have more energy to do the right thing, so just this is the responsible for the society. I'm not going to say this and that, but the challenging is here, if you don't move forward, people already move forward. What can you do, so that we need to wake up. That is what I want to share. A lot of things, if you see that is a little bit that not too good, we need to change into the good one, good way to do things like that. That is my viewpoint, not in political, but in the changing into better. That is my point. Okay.
Can you hear me? Maybe. Can you guys hear me?
Yeah, you sound good, Toshida.
All right. So I found Corey's question really interesting because, so let's suppose I have a particular opinion about Corey and find out that he voted for one guy or the other. And all of a sudden now I change my opinion about Corey. To me, I think that to me would be a reflection of my own mind's problem, that I want Corey to be in a certain way and later find out that he's not that way. So I thought that was a really good question, Corey, because let's hypothetically suppose you voted for Trump. Should that change my opinion about Corey one way or the other? I don't think so. I mean, if that's the case, that's more of a problem of my own mind than anything to do with what Corey is doing or not doing. Don't get me wrong. I'm not saying Trump is right or Biden is right. In the grand scheme of things, I don't think any of that really matters. So, but I thought that was a really good question, Corey.
Thanks. So I did some reading on like right view, and the Buddha had his own views, but the Buddha was not so attached to his views that it would impact his perception of things. So that's the reason why I asked, is because like there's so much hate and splitness, I guess. I don't know how to say it, but it's such a diverse split
right.
between.
We don't have to be politically correct. You're absolutely right. I mean, and honestly, I think it's not just one party; it's both.
Mm-hmm. Well, the other thing
that is
too,
the problem, because if both sides can understand that both sides are extreme, no one would be having problem. They're both pulling the string to one side or the other. That is the problem.
well, the reason why I brought it up, and this is because I was a bartender for a long time, and there's things that when people would come into the bar that I would just take off the table. Like if people start talking about relationships, religion, and politics, I would, no, we're changing the subject. And so that made me think, like, as a Buddhist, where's the line when you start talking about politics? Like, I've always avoided discussing it even with friends, because that's how you lose friends and family, is because there's such a split, such an opinion, such an attachment to that view that they would just assume disassociate with you than even listen to anything you have to say.
But isn't that where the problem itself is? Because whoever is, so let's say hypothetically speaking, you voted for Trump, and from tomorrow onward, I don't want to talk with Corey because he voted for Trump. If that was truly the case, the problem is in me, because I want Corey to work in a certain way that I want him to work. I am attached to some concept that Corey is in that school of thought.
Yeah.
So that would be my mind's own problem. It doesn't really matter what Corey's opinions are. It's at that point my issue, because I want the world to work the way I want it to work. Rather than looking at it from the perspective, it is what it is. Doesn't matter. Everything rises, everything falls. So I thought it was a good question. I just wanted to, I guess, put my 2 cents into it.
Yeah, I mean, to go on with it, like, since it is such an opinion-based subject, how, as Buddhist, do you, like, let's say the US starts getting Buddhist involvement in politics. How do you present yourself to where there's no split? Like, people will start forming an opinion on, oh, the Buddhist community is for so-and-so. They're not right. You know, they're messed up in the head. They have a mental disorder, whatever, you know, like I find it fascinating. I find it a very challenging subject. So
it's still far away. It's still far away to go.
Right.
Buddhism in this country right now, only spiritual process they have, and not much they involve can contribute. You know, they may involve in a lot of things, but just idea. For more practical, we don't have factory. You know, we don't have manpower. And then we don't have enough what we call business. Then we can make profits. You know, we don't have involved into hospital system. You know, so we can bring all this social welfare into more practical. So a lot of things in the future, if Buddhism can be prosperity long run. Maybe generation after generation.
Probably not our lifetime.
Yeah. Right now it's too early to say anything in this political side. That's why I don't see this is the time. You know, it just people is more important. We try to help people to mature. Yeah, mature, like similar to more in the Buddhist perspective. You know, maybe if that will be the civilized, that more higher civilized thought that they can share and balance themselves. This is a good idea. So right now we are only, you see, I don't want to say too much other thing. I just focus in education and the skillful training. You see, this is 2 parts right now, is what we can bring it more easy into the country. And other than, I don't bring money to USA because I come from a poor country. As $400 pocket money, I already fly into this country, you know, in 1991, you know, $400 US, what can we do? So I'm very ashamed, very ashamed to say.
Master Jiru, you were much richer when you came to US. When I came to US, I only had $50, and even that $50 was not my money. Someone actually gave that money to me. So
Yeah,
you were actually 4 steps ahead of me.
Yeah, you said here you are, here you are. So there are lots of things we need to skillfully to show. Yeah, we can do, we can help. Yeah. So I hope we are this adult teacher program. I hope we can carry on, and one day hope that a new decision you can make and become a professional in your career, so that as long as you want to make living like me, I want to make my own self make living, enough food to eat. You need to have a skill in order that skill can be easy to apply and accepted by the society. I think in right now, Buddhism is popular. A lot of things can do and can make help. And you see, they're open to like the chaplaincy, which come to training a skillful training program, which you can serve in this like military, like others organization, like the hospital. It really need all this skill. Yeah, I think in Buddhism we have a lot of good experience and skill. It's very easy to apply here. We just need to slow down ourselves and master the education and put ourselves in qualified. Yeah, when people want to hide you, they need to show. They need you to show something that is qualified. You know, I think Buddhists, we need to wake up and then prepare ourselves. And once we get the degree, we get the skill, then I think a lot of potential we can come back to this society. It really needs a lot of help, especially the stress. It's almost the time. If no more comments, then we may stop it here. And then I get almost the time for lunch. Lisa.
Yes.
Yeah. My poor English, you can listen properly what I say?
Yes, yes, I heard. Yeah, very good. Thank you.
Okay, I try my very best. I hope that what I express, everyone can understand 50% or more, then I will feel happy.
Yes, very good. This way.
Okay. And after the PowerPoint, I have a little bit note too. I will put it into words, and then after the talk, I will send it out for everyone so that you can have my note there.
Good. Thank you.
Okay. Okay. We just stop it here and get ready for lunch. And see you.
Have a good lunch,
Thank
everybody.
you, Master.
Thank you.
Master.
1:30.